In June of 2024, a former friend reached out to me through Tumblr, an account on Tumblr. I had her blocked on all social media, so this account was something different I didn't know about. She reached out to me asking me for my help because she said that she had a cyber stalker and someone who she thought might be hacking her as well. And I thought, knowing that we were blocked, I had her blocked, but yet she's reaching out to me that maybe something really might be going on. She is a tarot reader. She has a huge following on TikTok. And I thought, with a public platform like that, maybe something really is going on. And if in fact something did, God forbid, happen, it would bother me to no end, knowing I turned my back on her. So I, against my better judgment, decided I would try to help her. And what she told me was that she had been in contact with several accounts through several years, over the course of several years. One account is on Reddit, and the other 3 accounts are on Tumblr. Well, she's blocked all the accounts except 1 or 2 Tumblr accounts. And these 2 Tumblr accounts were, she called them poetry accounts, because both accounts seem to post and blog nothing but poetry stuff, related stuff. But her concern started to rise because she started to feel that maybe there might be the same person behind all these different accounts. And she shared different things with different people, different ones of these 4 accounts, but started feeling like maybe somebody's playing a trick on her or something, because she started noticing similarities in conversation and other things, and that started making her question, who is who. So, and the reason she thought she was hacked was because she was seeing posts made by a couple of these Tumblr accounts, the poetry accounts, I guess, specifically, that seemed reflective of conversations that she was having. She would be chatting in text or through direct message on Facebook or some other social media site, or whatever, or talking on the phone. And she felt she might have also been compromised because she felt like there were times when she was speaking to someone, not even online, but in person, and with her phone like on the table or something, in earshot, and that there were posts being made that seemed to reflect even those kind of conversations. Now, I thought all of that sounded really fantastic. I was like, that's really a lot. So interesting. I don't know that that really is as possible as you. I mean, I know it's possible, but I don't know that that's happening, but I'm not trying to be dismissive of what you think is your experiences. So, nevertheless, she reached out to me on June 20th. By June 25th, I was actually done with trying to help her. I realized this was going nowhere. It was the same pattern that had happened many times before. We connected originally in 2015, and we actually only met once in real life in 2017, and we were only together for like 4 or 5 days. So it was an on again, off again kind of pattern that we had, and typically would end with one of us blocking the other. I would end up blocking her more often than she blocked me. So by June 25th, I was done. And I was like, I hope you work it out. Hope you figure it out. But, I didn't even block her. I decided just to ignore her. And that was that. I thought, that was the end of the story. I just hoped she figured it out. 2 days later, I discover on her Facebook that she's got a video, that in the video, she says that she's been cyber stalked and hacked by her ex-boyfriends for 7 years. And I'm shocked. I'm like, whoa, wow, how did she find that out? Who was her ex-boyfriend? How does she even know this, right? Impressed. I was like, dang, she didn't read. She didn't even need my help. I'm watching the video, and I come to understand she's blaming me. She didn't say my name, but she definitely is talking about me. That I'm behind all these different accounts that she's been talking with for years, and I've been silently stalking her. Now, when we talked, during that week in June, she did ask me more than once in chat, once on the phone at least, if it was me behind them. And I said, no, I blocked you. Why would I stalk you? Why would I block you to stalk you? That doesn't make sense. No, that's not me. So when I see this video, I'm thinking, I'm blown away. I'm trying to make it make sense. Nothing is making sense. It did not compute in my head. Why was she blaming me? She came to me out of the clear blue sky asking for my help, only to turn it around and accuse me of doing it? Based on what? Nothing. But she didn't end there. She actually only started posting online and then also went to the police in her local area. She lived in North Carolina. I lived in California. I've never been to North Carolina, never been to her home, never intended to go to North Carolina. Had no reason to go there. But knowing that she went to the police, that changed the whole tone of everything. This was now serious. This is a serious thing. So I talked to my local police, and they suggest that I find out where she lives, Google her address, Google her name, and see if I can find her address. And then she can only file at local police departments, and that's what I did. Ended up connecting with the actual detective that took her report. So we talked for 40 or so minutes. And after we talked, I got in an email, maybe a week or two later, that the case had been closed, that it had been considered unfounded. They closed it in less than 24 hours. She gave them full access to all of her social media so that they can take a good look at everything and find whatever proof that she thought they would find and act accordingly. When they found nothing, they told her, we can't file any charges. There's no felony. There's no misdemeanor. Nothing's happening here. This guy's not the one. He's not doing anything. That wasn't good enough for her. Well, in North Carolina, a citizen can go to their magistrate and file charges against another citizen. And that's what she did. So she went to her court, local court, and filed cyberstalking charges against me. And they allow you to do this based on your sincere belief that this is what's happening. You don't have to have any credible proof because she didn't. All she had was screenshots. That's not what you use to prove that you've been hacked. Or really that you've even been cyberstalked. But, so because of that, the court sent a summons to me, which I received a month later, and I was due to go to court in North Carolina. So the court date was continually pushed back, and eventually it was heard on December 5th of 2024. So I went to court in North Carolina. At this time, I had already hired an attorney to help me fight this case. The moment that I walked into the courthouse, I was actually arrested because not only did they summon me to court, they also issued a warrant for my arrest in the state of North Carolina. So yeah, I was arrested based on nothing but her assertion from these screenshots that I'm the one behind all these accounts who've been cyberstalking her and hacking her. So, and the court obviously doesn't matter to them that the sheriff's department did their investigation and found nothing. That doesn't matter to the courts. They operate independently. Okay. So essentially, that day was horrific and traumatic for me. I've never been arrested before. I was shackled, fingerprinted, mugshot, had DNA swabbed. I was entered into the system, and I was due to receive a bond as well. Fortunately, everything was dismissed. Her application for a protective order was also denied. Cyberstalking is categorized as domestic violence. I live 3,000 miles away from this person. How could I be a threat to her? But this is what she pushed for. This is what she asserted, that I was this imminent threat. Her family was in danger, in mortal peril from me somehow. I knew that this wasn't going to end because I knew that she was probably going to double down and try to do something else. And she did. So through this whole ordeal, she started making more charges. She went back to her court, made more charges. Essentially, every charge, every accusation she levied against me in her court was dismissed, fortunately. She just failed to meet the burden of proof. She had no proof. She had a lot of screenshots that showed that somebody was very active on their blog. But what she couldn't prove was that it was me. So I'm going to go backwards now to that week that we talked in June. But before I do that,